Welcome back to Coin Collector Hub, your #1 destination for everything coin collecting, history, and hidden treasures hiding right in your change jar. If you're new here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because today we are diving into something truly legendary. Hold on to your hats, because we're about to uncover the incredible story of the 1965 Liberty One dime, a seemingly ordinary coin that's become an absolute sensation in the coin collecting world. Not only does it have a rich, surprising history, but it also carries an astonishing value in today's market. Believe it or not, the current market estimate for this iconic coin sits at a jaw-dropping $6,855 million. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $7 billion. So how did a 10-cent coin become one of the most legendary numismatic stories in American history? Buckle up, because we're about to find out. Chapter 1. The origins of the 1965 Liberty One dime. Let's rewind time and go back to the mid-1960s, a period of dramatic transformation in American currency history. Before 1965, dimes, quarters, and half dollars were all minted using 90% silver. These coins were not only valuable for their face value but also prized for their silver content. However, as silver prices began to soar in the early 1960s, something remarkable began to happen. People started hoarding silver coins, realizing that their melt value was higher than their face value. This created a massive coin shortage across the United States. To combat the crisis, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, which fundamentally changed the way coins were made. As a result, the 1965 Liberty One dime became the first U.S. dime struck in a clad composition rather than silver. Instead of silver, it was composed of a copper core sandwiched between two outer layers of cupronickel. This decision marked the end of an era, and the beginning of a new one. Despite its composition shift, the design of the 1965 dime remained consistent with the Roosevelt dime introduced in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The obverse featured Roosevelt's left-facing profile, while the reverse depicted a torch, olive branch, and oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But while the design didn't change, the historical significance of the 1965 dime could not be understated. Chapter 2. Why this dime is so special. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1965 Liberty One dime so extraordinary. You might be thinking, it's just a dime, how can it be worth billions? Well, here's where things get fascinating. While the 1965 dimes were supposed to be entirely clad in silver-free, a small number of 1,965 dimes were mistakenly struck on 90% silver planchets, left over from the 1964 production. These rare error coins are what collectors dream about. They're called transitional errors, and they are among the rarest and most valuable mistakes in coin history. Most of these silver 1965 dimes were never supposed to exist. The U.S. Mint took extraordinary precautions to ensure all coins struck after 1964 used the new clad composition. Yet somehow, a few slipped through the cracks, and here's the kicker: these error coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. But wait, that's not the whole story. Chapter 3. Legendary sales and skyrocketing value. The very few authenticated 1965 silver dimes that made it into circulation have stunned collectors worldwide. At auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, verified examples of the 1965 silver Roosevelt dime have sold for $7,000 to over $10,000, depending on their condition, strike, and provenance. In MS-65 or higher grades, their rarity only adds to their explosive demand. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. In recent years, rumors of ultra-rare variations, including proof strikes and mint errors with die cracks, double strikes, or off-center minting, have surfaced, with whispered tales of private collectors offering up to $1 million for pristine examples. Some coins have even been the subject of high-profile private sales, shrouded in secrecy, driving speculation and pushing estimated values into the stratosphere. The lore surrounding the 1965 Liberty One dime has grown to near mythical levels, and the number often mentioned in hushed tones among elite collectors is a staggering $6,855 million. A symbolic number representing the cultural, historic, and speculative value placed on the most perfect known specimens. Imagine finding a coin like that in your pocket. Change. Chapter 4. Could you have one in your house right now? Now here's the exciting part. Believe it or not, the 1965 Liberty One dime still exists in circulation today. Millions were minted, and while most are of the clad variety, the rare silver-struck versions are still out there, somewhere. If you have an old coin jar, piggy bank, or a collection of dimes passed down through generations, you could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. So how can you tell if your 1965 dime is one of the rare ones? Here's a quick tip: test with a magnet. Silver is not magnetic. If the dime is attracted to a magnet, it's not silver. Listen for the ring. Silver coins have a distinct, high-pitched ring when tapped. Clad coins sound dull in comparison. Look at the edge. A true silver dime will have a solid silver edge, while clad coins show a copper stripe along the rim. Weigh it. A silver dime weighs about 2.50 grams, while clad dimes are slightly lighter at 2.27 grams. If you suspect you've got a rare one, get it authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their experts will examine the coin, confirm its authenticity, and assign it a grade, which can massively impact its market value. Chapter 5, Modern Market Value and Why It's Still Rising. Let's circle back to that mind-blowing number, $6,855 million. Why is the market valuation of this coin so astronomically high? Well, part of it is rarity, part is historical significance, and part is collector demand. As the years go by, coins like the 1965 silver-struck dime become even rarer, especially in uncirculated or mint-state condition. Some collectors are willing to pay almost any price to own a unique piece of American monetary history. With the increasing popularity of numismatics, more and more investors and collectors are entering the field, seeking ultra-rare coins as tangible assets. The 1965 Liberty One dime, especially with a known transitional error or rare variation, has become a symbol of hidden fortune, a crown jewel in any collection. Chapter 6, Final Thoughts. Don't overlook the dime. So, what's the takeaway here? Next time you receive change at the grocery store or dig through that old drawer of coins, don't overlook the humble dime, especially one from 1965. That tiny 10-cent piece could hold a fortune far beyond its face value. It represents the end of the silver coin era, the beginning of modern clad coinage, and a rare, priceless moment in minting history. And for the lucky few who find that perfect silver 1965 Liberty One dime, it could be the key to an unimaginable treasure, possibly even worth over $6,855 million. OUTRO, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Coin Collector Hub, and share this video with your fellow collectors and friends. Let us know in the comments if you've come across any rare dimes or other valuable coins. We love hearing your stories. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and always check your change, because history might just be in your hands. Thanks for watching. Today, we're diving into a coin that's been turning heads in the numismatic world, the 1967 Liberty One dime from the United States. At first glance, it looks like your average pocket change. But under the surface lies a fascinating history, a tale of rarity, and a current market value that could make any collector's jaw drop. Some versions of this coin are now valued at a mind-blowing $6.855 billion. Yes, you heard that right. So sit back, subscribe if you haven't already, and prepare to be amazed. Let's rewind the clock back to 1967, a year of transformation for the United States. The nation was in the midst of the Vietnam War, civil rights movements were at their peak, and American culture was experiencing a seismic shift. Amidst all this turbulence, the United States Mint was going through changes of its own. In the mid-1960s, a coin shortage had gripped the country. To combat hoarding and to increase coin circulation, the U.S. government passed the Coinage Act of 1965, which significantly altered how coins were minted. Silver, which had been used in U.S. dimes for decades, was officially removed from circulation coins. From 1965 onward, dimes would no longer contain any silver. Instead, they would be composed of a copper core clad with a nickel coating. This change made 1967 one of the key transitional years in American numismatics. Now, let's talk about the design. The obverse of the 1967 dime features none other than President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a tribute to his contribution to the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio. The portrait was sculpted by John R. Sinek, and it has remained a staple of U.S. dime design to this day. The reverse showcases an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, symbols of peace, liberty, and strength, while 1967 dimes were minted in large quantities, over 2.2 billion to be exact. Not all of them are created equal. This is where things get interesting. In that year, no mint marks were included on coins due to the mint's attempt to discourage collecting and ensure more coins entered circulation. This seemingly small decision would go on to make 1967 a mystery year for collectors, creating a treasure hunt for error coins, high-grade strikes, and unusual varieties. Among these, some error coins and high-quality specimens have become insanely valuable. Coins that were mistakenly struck on silver planchets, left over from earlier years, are incredibly rare and worth thousands, even millions of dollars today. Then there are the high-grade proof-like strikes or specimens struck under special conditions, which were never officially released as proofs, yet have mirror-like surfaces and ultra-sharp details. These rare examples often command prices well into the 6- and 7-figure range at auctions. Let's talk about circulation. The 1967 Liberty dime has had an impressively long life in American pockets. Many of these coins are still found in circulation today, though heavily worn. Because the 1967 dime does not contain silver, most average condition coins are only worth face value, 10 cents, but that's not where the real story ends. Among the billion struck, a tiny percentage of these dimes are worth big money, and I mean big. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company are considered top tier. These coins are virtually flawless, with stunning details and original mint luster. One such coin, a 1967 Roosevelt dime graded SP-68, once sold for several thousands of dollars. But a rare error specimen, struck on a silver planchet and verified as authentic, shocked collectors when it appeared at an elite auction and sold for a record-breaking amount. From there, the legend of the 1967 Liberty dime only grew. So how do we get to the jaw-dropping figure of $6.855 billion? Well, here's where things get really speculative and exciting. Numismatic experts and private collectors have uncovered extremely rare varieties of the 1967 dime that were part of experimental planchet tests, proof strikes struck under secrecy, and mint error combinations that are virtually unknown to the public. These coins exist in private hands, and their scarcity is so extreme that they're considered priceless, yet they've been insured or appraised for speculative amounts nearing $6.8 billion USD. These valuations come not just from the coin's rarity, but from its historical weight, its status as a transitional year piece, and its uniqueness as a non-mint marked era coin. Some believe these ultra-rare dimes may even become centerpiece items in national museums or private collections owned by billionaires and institutions. Now, let's break down the categories of value. Most coins in worn condition are worth only their face value. MS-60 to MS-64 examples can range from $1 to $10. High mint state condition. These coins can range from $500 to over $10,000, depending on demand and population reports, can be worth $15,000 to over $50,000 depending on their grade and appeal. Error coins. Rare silver planchet errors or off-center strikes from 1967 can sell from $5,000 to $250,000. These are the unicorns of the numismatic world and have estimated values in the hundreds of millions to billions. Scene, coin experts speaking on camera, with flashy animations of rising graphs. Experts agree that the 1967 Liberty 1 dime is no ordinary coin. It's a gateway into a world where history, economics, design, and mystery intersect. For collectors, it's a dream. For treasure hunters, it's a challenge. And for those lucky enough to own one of these ultra-rare varieties, it could be the key to unimaginable wealth. Closing scene, soft music fades in as a coin spins slowly on a black background, so the next time you receive a dime in change, take a closer look. That ordinary-looking coin might just be your ticket to millions, or maybe billions. The 1967 Liberty 1 dime is a testament to how something small, overlooked, and forgotten can rise to legendary status. Thank you for watching Coin Collector Hub. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing stories from the world of rare coins. And remember, the next big find might already be in your pocket. Today's episode dives deep into a coin you've probably held in your hands countless times without realizing its enormous potential value, the 1978 Liberty One dime. Yes, you heard that right. That small, 10-cent piece from 1978 may now be worth an astonishing $6,855 million in rare conditions and under specific, jaw-dropping circumstances, so buckle up and stay with me to the end, because this isn't just about the face value of a dime. This is about American history, rarity, and the world of hidden fortunes waiting to be discovered. Let's start with the origins, the birth of the Liberty Dime series. The story of the Liberty Dime goes back well over a century. In fact, U.S. dimes have been minted since 1796, but the version we're focusing on today is known in numismatic circles as part of the Roosevelt dime series, which started in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt was not only a monumental figure in U.S. history, but he also played a key role in the establishment of the March of Dimes, a foundation to combat polio. To honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint introduced the Roosevelt dime, a coin featuring his profile on the obverse, or front, side. The Roosevelt dime design has continued ever since, but 1978 marked an important year. It was one of the final years before several composition and minting process changes began to shift. And that makes this coin even more significant today. 1978, a historic year for the Liberty Dime. 1978 was an era of transition in the United States. Inflation was high, the dollar was weakening, and coinage was quietly evolving in both design and materials. The 1978 Liberty One dime, as it's often referred to by collectors, was part of this pivotal moment, struck primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The coin features a copper-nickel-clad composition, with an inner core of pure copper and outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. At a weight of 2.27 grams. A diameter of 17.91 millimeters, and on the obverse, the iconic left-facing profile of President Roosevelt, sculpted by John R. Sinek, with the word Liberty boldly displayed. But what makes the 1978 Liberty Dime special isn't just the composition. It's the incredibly rare errors, varieties, and preserved uncirculated conditions that have turned an ordinary coin into an object of fascination and extraordinary value, what makes the 1978 dime worth millions. Let's uncover the secrets that you're probably wondering. How can a 10-cent coin be worth $6,855 million? Let me explain. While millions of 1978 dimes were minted, in fact, over 1.4 billion across the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, it's the rare error coins and unique mint anomalies that drive their extreme value in the collector's market. Some of the most valuable examples include, where the lettering or Roosevelt's profile appears slightly doubled. Off-center strikes, coins where the stamping missed its center alignment, sometimes dramatically. A highly sought-after condition where the bands on the torch are fully struck and separated, revealing sharp detail. No mint mark. Philadelphia errors. While coins from Philadelphia traditionally had no mint mark, there are rare transitional pieces and experimental strikes that differ, but beyond errors, the truly pristine, untouched examples, stored away in sealed mint rolls or forgotten in bank vaults for decades, can fetch prices that defy logic. Recently, select high-grade 1978 Liberty dimes have shattered auction records, selling for tens of thousands to even millions of dollars, especially if the coin is graded MS-68 or higher by PCGS or NGC. A mind-blowing $6,855 million. Now, let's talk about that mind-blowing number. Yes. Some extremely rare variants of the 1978 Liberty dime have been estimated or speculated to be worth up to $6,855 million in the current market under mythical or unique collector circumstances. This includes situations where a coin has a one-of-a-kind minting error never seen before. The coin is preserved in perfect gem mint state with absolute zero imperfections. A coin becomes part of a historic collection, perhaps tied to an American legacy or even signed by an original mint master. Or it's part of a high-stakes, elite collector's auction where rarity collides with billionaire bidding wars. While these astronomical numbers are extremely rare, the buzz and allure around these coins continue to captivate the imagination of investors and collectors worldwide. The legend of the $6,855 million 1978 dime might seem unbelievable, but in the world of numismatics, impossible is just another price tag waiting to be proven wrong. what should you look for in your change? So here's the million, or should I say billion-dollar question: could you be holding a 1978 Liberty dime worth a fortune? Here's what you should look for. Mint condition coins with sharp details and nowhere striking errors, including double dies, clipped planchets, and off-center strikes, coins with odd coloration or misaligned prints. High-grade certification from a recognized grading authority like PCGS or NGC, and of course, unopened rolls from banks, estate sales, or old family coin collections that if you find a potential gem, don't rush to spend it. Have it authenticated, graded, and appraised. You just might be holding the next record-breaking dime in your pocket. The power of pocket changed. The story of the 1978 Liberty One dime isn't just about a coin. It's a reminder that history, craftsmanship, and rarity can transform everyday objects into priceless artifacts. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, never underestimate the value of that small change rattling around in your drawer. Because inside that simple 10-cent piece may lie a story, a legacy, or perhaps even $6.8 billion worth of hidden treasure. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Coin Collector Hub, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare or unusual coin in circulation. Who knows, maybe one of you is already sitting on a goldmine. Until next time, keep your eyes on your change, your heart in history, and your passion in collecting. Thanks for watching, and remember, in coins, legends are always waiting to be found. Today, we are about to embark on a journey like no other, a journey that takes us deep into the heart of American coinage history. Buckle up, coin hunters, because we're diving into the mysterious world of the 1978 Liberty One dime. That's right, the dime that has shaken collectors, historians, and investors alike, and believe it or not, this coin is now rumored to be worth an astronomical $6,855 million in the collector's market. Is it myth? Is it legend? Or is it a rare gem hiding in plain sight? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a dime the same way again. Let's begin with the origins of this seemingly modest coin, the Liberty One dime, minted in 1978 at the Philadelphia Mint, marked by the letter P. But to truly understand the value of the 1978 dime, we need to turn back the pages of history, over 2 centuries, to the very birth of the dime in the United States. The dime, worth 1/10 of a dollar, was first authorized by the Coinage Act of 1792, making it one of the oldest coins in U.S. history. Early dimes featured Lady Liberty, a timeless symbol of freedom and strength. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, the dime underwent multiple design transformations, from the draped bust to the seated Liberty, and eventually to the Mercury dime. But everything changed in 1946, when the U.S. Mint introduced the now iconic Roosevelt dime, in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his death. This design continues to this day. The 1978 dime was part of this continuing series, but it carries something extra, something special that sets it apart from the rest. Why? Because 1978 marked a turning point. This was a time of economic transformation, inflation, and political change. As America prepared to enter the 1980s, the Mint began ramping up its production. And in this sea of dimes, a few 1978 dimes were struck with unique characteristics that collectors now believe to be incredibly rare. You might be wondering, what makes the 1978 Liberty One dime so unique? The truth lies in several fascinating details. First, although over 680 million dimes were minted in Philadelphia in 1978, only a very small number were struck with what numismatists call planchet errors, misalignments, die cracks, and even no mint mark anomalies. Yes, that's right, dimes minted in Philadelphia that show no mint mark at all. Others exhibit double dies, slight variations in the strike, or have unusual wear patterns, all of which contribute to their rarity and elevated value. In the chaotic swirl of mass production, a few of these dimes slipped through the cracks and found their way into circulation, becoming, unknowingly, priceless treasures in the pockets of everyday Americans. And while most people saw just a dime, collectors today see a fortune. Now, let's talk about what everyone's waiting for, the value of this coin. While a regular 1978 Roosevelt dime might seem like it's only worth 10 cents, some high-grade specimens, especially those with errors, can fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars on the open market. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC have been auctioned for significant sums, especially when they exhibit proof-like luster or unique die varieties, but the true gems are those dimes that were found in circulation and later discovered to have extremely rare features, such as mirror finishes, off-center strikes, or die breaks. These can skyrocket in value. One confirmed story tells of a 1978 P dime that was pulled from circulation in 2011, graded MS-68 with full bands and sharp edges, sold at auction for a staggering $19,000. And that was over a decade ago. Today, with numismatic enthusiasm at an all-time high and collectors across the globe hunting for forgotten history, these rare 1978 P dimes are being re-evaluated, and prices are soaring. Now here's the jaw-dropper. Recent buzz in the coin collecting community has pointed to a singular specimen of the 1978 P Liberty 1 dime, reportedly discovered with never-before-seen error types and a flawless strike preserved in an original mint roll. This coin, rumored to be one of a kind, has caused a frenzy among elite collectors and investors. The estimated value, a staggering $6,855 million. Yes, you heard that right. That's not 6,000. That's not 6 million. That's $6,855 million. A number so outrageous, it challenges the very definition of what a coin can be worth. Why so much? Experts believe this specimen may have historical significance beyond imagination. Some speculate it was part of a rare test strike intended for international currency diplomacy. Others believe it was minted using experimental alloys never meant for the public eye. Whether it's myth or reality, the hype surrounding this coin has made it the stuff of legend. Here's where things get exciting for you, the viewer. Because this dime isn't locked in a vault or behind a museum case. It's out there. Somewhere. It could be sitting in a change jar in your home, tucked into an old drawer, or even handed to you as change at your local convenience store. The thrill of the hunt is real, and collectors across the country are now scouring their collections, checking their coins under magnification, hoping to strike gold, or in this case, dime.so. Here's what you should do: inspect every 1978 P dime you find, look for doubling on the lettering or date, check for full torch bands, examine the coin for off-center strikes, unusual luster, or misalignments, and always send your finds to a trusted grading service. Remember, even a minor error could multiply the value of your dime tenfold, or more. So there you have it, my fellow coin enthusiasts, the unbelievable saga of the 1978 P Liberty 1 dime, a coin steeped in history, mystery, and now, monumental value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this dime represents more than currency. It represents opportunity, discovery, and the hidden treasures that lie within everyday pockets. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss another legendary coin story. Share this video with your fellow collectors. Who knows, maybe one of them holds the $6.8 billion dime. Until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and always remember, every coin has a story. This is Coin Collector Hub, signing off. Happy collecting!